All right, moving on to number 11. Which number sentence is not true? Here we're just looking at, there's a lot of zeros, so you just have to look at the basic fact. So 20 divided by 5 is not 50. It would actually be 40. So A is actually not true. That was really easy. But if you look at B, 40 divided by 8 would be 50, if that makes sense. All right, moving on to number 12. Between which two numbers would you find the quotient of 87 divided by 5? Here, we just have to find our quotient first. So we do 87 divided by 5. 5 goes into 8 once. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtract, you get 3. 5 can't go into 3, so you bring down your 7 to get 37. 5 can fit into 37 a total of 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. You get remainder of 2. So your quotient is 17 with a remainder of 2. So which one makes the most sense? C. It's in between 15 and 20. Moving on to 13. Jessie has 160 rubber bracelets. She arranged the bracelets in piles of 40. Which model shows 160 divided by 40? You just need to look for one of these answers that is doing a repeated subtraction or looking like repeated subtraction by 40. So 160 to 130 is only by 10, so that's not right. 50 to 120 is only by 30, so that's not right. 160 to 120 is by 40. So it would be C. Ursula bought 9 dozen gauze pads for the house office. The gauze pads were divided equally into 4 boxes. How many gauze pads are in each box? So all you need to do is look at how many gauze pads total there were. So there's 9 dozen. So that's really like 9 times 12. A dozen just means 12. I'll write it the other way because this way doesn't make sense. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry the 1. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 would be 10. So there's 108 total gauze pads. And then they're divided equally into 4 boxes. So you want to do 4 divided by 108. 4 can't go into 1, but it can go into 10 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract from 10. You get 2. 4 can't go into 2, but you can bring down your 8. 4 can go into 28. A total of 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. There are no remainders, and there's about 27 gauze pads in each box. So C. 15. A toy manufacturer has 627 yo-yos to divide equally among 3 stores. How many yo-yos will each store receive? This is just typical old division. So there's 627 yo-yos, and you want to divide them equally among 3 stores. So 627 divided by 3. 3 can go into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract. You get nothing. Moving on, 3 can't go into 0, so bring down your 2. But 3 can't go into 2 either, so it's a 0 up here. So bring down your 7. 3 can go into 27, total of 9 times. 9 times 3 is 27. Nothing left over, and your answer is 209 yo-yos each store will receive, so B. 16. There are 112 seats in the school auditorium. There are 7 seats in each row. There are 70 people seated, filling up full rows of seats. How many rows are empty? So first we need to figure out how many total rows there are. They told us how many seats there are. So there's 112 seats in the school. If there's 7 seats in each, how many rows are there? We need to figure out how many rows total there are. So we need to take 7 divided by 112 to figure out how many rows there are total. 7 can't go into 1, but it could go into 11 once. 1 times 7 is 7. 11 minus 7 is 4. 7 can't go into 4, so bring down your 2. 7 can go into 42 6 times. So there's a total of 16 rows. I'm going to write this out for you. But there are 70 people seated, filling up full rows of seats. So let's figure out how many rows they took up. If there's 70 people total there, and there's 7 people are seated, 70 people are seated, and there's 7 seats per row, we have to figure out how many rows are taken up. So 7 can go into 7 once. 1 times 7 is 7. You get 0. And you can't put 7 into 0 and 0. So over in the tens, we need to fill in that space with 0. So 10 rows are just already taken up. 10 rows used. There's 16 rows total. 10 rows are used. How many rows are empty? So that would be 16 minus 10 would give you 6. A. Moving on to 17. Nolan divides his 88 toy cars into boxes. Each box holds 9 cars. How many boxes does Nolan need to store all of his cars? So this is just plain old division. So each box holds 9 of the cars. There's 88 cars total. 9 can't go into 8, but it can go into 88 a total of 9 times. 9 times 9 is 81, with a remainder of 7. So it's asking us how many boxes does Nolan need to store all of his cars. He can't have 9 boxes with a remainder of 7 cars not in a box. So this is where you need to add 1 to your quotient, or add 1 more box to get 10 boxes so that all cars are in a box. 18. Popcorn was donated for the school fair by 3 different popcorn vendors. They donated a total of 636 bags of popcorn. If each vendor donated the same number of bags, how many bags of popcorn did each vendor donate? Again, this is plain old division. There's 3 different popcorn vendors, and there's a total of 636 bags. Just divide them. 3 can go into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract. You get 0. Bring down your next number. 3 can go into 3 once. 1 times 3 is 3. And that's 0 again. You can bring down your other number. 3 can go into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. There are no remainders, but your answer is 212 bags of popcorn that each vendor donated. D. Moving on to 19. Look at the model. What division does it show? You just need to count up all the dots. So if this is a group of 6 plus a group of 6 plus a group of 6, it'll give us 18, 19, 20. So it's 20 divided by 3 groups, which is D, and there's 2 remaining. All you really had to do was look at remainder 2, and that will give you the answer here. 20. Sylvia plans to place 617 stamps in an album. Each page of the album holds 5 stamps. She uses division to find out how many full pages she will have. In what place is the first digit of the quotient? We just have to do our division to see which place our first digit of our answer will be. So if there's 617 stamps total, and she wants to hold 5 stamps in each album, 5 can go into 6 once. This is all we need to do. You don't need to solve. It's just asking us which is the first digit of the quotient, and it's in the hundreds place. So it's B. 21. A crown factory packs 5 crowns in a sample pack. The factory gives sample packs away to visitors under 12. How many sample packs can be made with 2,500 crowns? So the only important information here is that there's the factory gives packs of 5 crowns out, and they're asking you how many sample packs can be made with 2,500 crowns. Visitors under 12 has nothing to do with this. It's just a number it's just a number being thrown in there to confuse you. So if you can do simple division, because you know that 25 divided by 5 is 5, and add 2 zeros. It would be C. 22. A store gave away 1,932 calendars in 7 days. They gave away the same number of calendars each day. How many calendars did the store give away each day? So if there's a total of 1,093 calendars and they're giving them away in 7 days, they're asking us how many calendars did the store give away each day. You just have to divide them to figure out how much they gave away in 7 days. 7 can't go into 1, but it can go into 19 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract, you get 5. 19 minus 14. 7 can't go into 5, but you can bring down your 3. 7 can go into 53